I'm going to talk about coming out to the world. And I remember the first time I told anybody that I was trans was when I was 20 years old. And my best friend, he was in his early 40s, and he was a gay man, and he was very hostile towards trans girls. Back then, it was very common for gay men to be extremely hostile towards trans girls. And he was definitely a hater. In fact, another dear friend of mine, a trans man, a gay man, was extremely hostile. And in fact, he was, I think, even more hostile towards trans people than. And so these were my two closest friends. So when I told him, boy, it didn't go over well at all. And I basically looked like the statue of David on steroids. And so he's like coveting my body and my look and wishing that he looked like me. And I'm wishing like I look like somebody completely else. And that really drove him to distraction. He really hated that. And so because of that, I didn't tell anybody again until about 7 years later. I was married at this point, and I was doing construction, and then something happened where I ended up having to come home early. They weren't ready for me, so I just turned around and drove home. And so I got all dolled up, and I was doing it quite a bit. And I'm in the bathroom, and I got this really bad wig on, and I got this cute little white miniskirt that my wife owned, and I'm all in the bathroom in front of the mirror, listening to music and just drinking some vodka, having a good old time. Well, my wife came home early from work too. And she opens the bathroom door. She's looking for me. She saw my car, my big old station wagon, and she's like, "Oh wow, it's like my husband's home." She opens the door, and oh my God, the look on her face, it was just horrific. She literally looked like she saw a ghost. When people use that expression, she was like the very embodiment of that expression. If I could have taken a picture of that expression, and in the dictionary where they have the expression, looks like you saw a ghost, they would just put that picture there. They would never need to look for another one. Boy, and so she goes and sits on the front of the bed, which was just a few feet from the bathroom door, because the bathroom was in our bedroom, and so she goes and sits on the edge of our bed, and she just starts crying. I mean, just starts really digging. And I'm like, oh crud. So I didn't take the wig or nothing on, and I got heels on too. So I'm come out, right? Very masculine looking man too, right? All muscle bound and everything. And so I sit down next to her, and I go, honey, is it really that bad? And she goes, no. She goes, you just look so much better in my skirt than I do. And then really started bawling. Oh, that poor thing. But yeah, no, she wasn't very thrilled. She wasn't very thrilled at all to find out about that. And then she even let me, for the next several months, quite a few months, she let me dress at home. And so it was awesome. I came home from work I couldn't wait to get home from work, and I'd just throw her clothes on. And she wasn't at all attracted to that. That wasn't what she liked or anything, but she knew how important it was to me. So, and she really did love me quite a bit, and so she dealt with it. And then once she realized that it wasn't like a sexual thing, it wasn't any kind of like fun and games, this was just actually how I centered myself. That scared the crap out of her. And so she asked me to get rid of the clothes that I had got at the thrift store for myself, and get rid of all that and just stop doing it, which I did for quite a few years. Because I didn't want to lose her, and so it was tough. Yeah, so coming out can be rough. Can be really quite awful. And so those are my first two experiences with somebody finding out, and they were both people that were so key and important to my life, people that I loved so deeply, and the first time around, my best friend, like I said, he just hated it. I mean, he was literally just livid that especially when I told him how much it meant to me. That was what really wore him. The same thing that got to my wife later on, my ex-wife now. But when explaining just how important this was to me, then it just scared her. She's like, oh crud. It's like, oh my God, I married this she married the perfect guy, right? She'd love taking me in front of her friends and her family and everything, showing me off. And she's probably picturing this big dumb guy running around with a skirt. Hi mom, talking to her mom. Her stepdad, hey dad. Oh my God. But later on, they were very supportive. So, but that was many years later before I came out to them. Whole different story. But yeah, So coming out, it can be quite painful. And go ahead and put down in the comments below who either caught you first or who you came out to first, and just tell us how it went. You know, just tell us if it went well, if it went bad, if it was mixed, if so, why. And be sure to like the videos and be sure to subscribe. All right, thanks. Bye.